Instead, she seems to relax as my arms wrap around her. We stay that way for a while. Hey, you know I was serious last night. You really can talk to me if stuff like this is bothering you. It's always difficult to do this sort of thing solo, you know? Emi smiles and breaks the embrace, but stays leaning on my shoulder. Thanks, Hisao. I'll be fine, I think. I can already see her reassembling herself, getting ready to bottle it all up again. Guess that topic is closed now. So hey, give any more thought to that career survey? Can't say I have. I don't tend to plan very far ahead, you know? Although I suppose I could at least start looking into college, huh? I wonder if there's a pirate in college. I shrug. I suppose unless you're serious about that pirate thing. Last I checked, pirates didn't have much need for universities. Unless there's like a pirate university out there somewhere. And he giggles and starts to look a little like her old self, but there's a new element to her expression. Impish, that's how I'd describe it. And he looks impish, looking up at me with her head nestled into my shoulder. Would you come with me if I ran off to be a pirate? Of course I would. Who in their right mind would pass up the opportunity to be pirates with you? Well, when you put it that way, I'm not sure. She giggles again. I notice that my heart seems to have sped up. It's probably due to Emi's proximity to me. That hint of strawberries again. I can't help but grin as I gaze down at her. She's happy again. Hey, Hisao? If you're going to kiss me, you should probably do it soon. I think the lunch bell is about to ring. My thoughts grind to a sudden halt. I'm pretty sure my mouth is hanging open in shock. All I can manage is a strangled, huh? This amuses Emi even more. You were thinking about it, weren't you? She sits up, bringing her face level with mine. I'd probably enjoy it, you know? You're a really... well... She briefly composes herself, looking like she's about to say something important. If you hadn't figured it out by now, I think I developed a bit of a crush on you. You're going to have to do something about that. This time her grin short-circuits several important thought processes. At some point I turn toward her, and another point her arms move to around my neck. And yet another my arms wrapped around her waist. I'll be damned if I could tell precisely when that happened. Because at that moment there's only a voice in the back of my head yelling at me to kiss her. I look into Emi's eyes. There it is. The thing I saw yesterday on the bed, it's there again. It suddenly strikes me that she's worried that I'll reject her. What a silly worry for her to have. Oh, CG time. This music sounds ominous. Her lips taste faintly of strawberries, romantic and Dante too. She leans into the kiss and her arms tighten around the back of my head, making sure that I don't pull away. Not that there was any danger of that. There's a churning feeling in my gut. The world falls away. I thought my arms were around her waist. Why is one on her back? The world falls away. There's just me and her and this bench. My arms tighten, drawing her waist closer, entranced by the feel of her. I inhale her scent, my mind trying desperately to memorize everything about how she tastes, how she smells, how she feels. The ringing of the bell snaps us both back to reality, and we break the kiss. Emi's cheeks are slightly flushed, and she seems to be catching her breath. In her defense, so am I. We stand there for a few moments trying to wrap our heads around what we've just done. Emi is the first to break the silence. So, want to grab dinner after I'm done with practice? I don't think I'd turn it down. What a coincidence. This is supposed to be like I have to eat too. I was about to ask you the same thing. Uh-oh. Well, actually, I suppose it was going to be some kind of proper day on the weekend or something, but the thought was there, I think. And it gives me a playful shove. Yeah, right. You were still in shock from how incredibly awesome I am at kissing. We begin to head down the stairs back to our respective classrooms. Hey, I didn't see you talking immediately afterwards either. That I didn't. See you after practice, Hisao. She leans in quickly and gives me a quick kiss in the middle of the hallway, sending me into another brief state of mental freefall. As I head into my classroom, a giggling Misha greets me. Why, He-chan, you romantic you. Did you confess on the rooftop? Did you? Or actually, I think it was the other way around. This sends Misha into a fresh fit of laughter. Young love so unpredictable, isn't it? This being Misha, I suppose I should have expected her to tease me over this. I guess. Before I can really respond, Mato's entered the room and Misha skips off to her seat, giggling all the while. I suspect that I'll get a lot of that sort of conversation now, especially seeing as how Emi kissed me right in the middle of the hall. But somehow I don't care about that. For the first time since arriving here, my heart feels light. is this? Oh. Act 3, perspective. My head's in a spin all through Mato's class. I'm going to have dinner. I'm going to have dinner with Emi, who wants to be my girlfriend, no less. A date. And then she kissed me. That kiss, I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again and again. Everything about that moment felt so right. That kiss, I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again. My mind again and again. Everything about that moment felt so right. My mind just lost in thoughts of Emi. Nakai, hello. It seems like I've drifted a bit too far. Huh? What? Egad, you've contracted some kind of amnesia. Someone get the nurse. The class chuckles at Mato's antics. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again and all that, right? Exactly. Mato brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I hate to have my star pupil slacking off, after all. I've been doing well, but I hardly qualify as a star pupil, I think. I'm hardly certain that this class is the sort that everyone does well in, it's just memorizing formulas. True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of the class. Nakai, may I have a word with you? I wonder if I'm in trouble for earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Mato looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? He tilts his head to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, that. No, you're not in any sort of trouble. There's just a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans for after graduation are. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess I can't really see a reason not to go, given any thought to what you'll study. Not really, no. I figure I'll come up with something when I get there. Mato laughs. Should plan it beforehand, but taking things as they come, eh? I'd argue against it, but that's how I did things when I went to university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into a science, I just wasn't sure which one. Ended up with physics, but could just as well have gone for astronomy or what have you. I would have rather had astronomy than physics because I love space. Actually, I did go for chemistry first, but there were all sorts of things. Mato trails off and frowns slightly. It takes a minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. So anyway, I did a lot of physics as well because I had an interest in that, but I wasn't sure if it was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are, yes. He smiles at me enthusiastically, as if waiting for me to confirm that, yes, here is where we are. Somehow I get the feeling that Mato had a plan for this conversation, but I'll be damned if I can figure it out. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Mato frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking perplexed, and then snaps his fingers as if he's remembered what the point of all this was. Right, yes, you. Me. Yes, you should look into studying one of the sciences. You're fantastic at it, unless you'd rather just go into math. Mato makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I always like the experiments more than the proofs. You're saying I should study science at university? Mato seems thrown off balance by my question. Well, sort of. You could also join the science club. Trouble is, there's not actually a science club, but there could be. You could even be a charter member. Founding father. Of course, you need to find other members. Well, only if you wanted to. We could just start it up with the two of us, and I could give you things to read and we could talk about them. And I could help you get ready for university and such as well. Wait. Mato rummages around his briefcase and tosses me a book. Read that. If it's interesting, then we can talk about it. A brief history of time. I don't know if I actually want to read this, but Mato seems pretty excited about it. What's it about? It's time, space, space-time, black holes and such. And it's not that dense, just to see if that sort of thing's interesting for you. You understand. Hang around after class and we can either discuss it or I can show you how to make explosives in the lab. He waves a hand at my quizzical expression. Joking, sorry. Still, I've kept you here long enough for now. Think about science as a career path, Nakai. I think you'd enjoy it. Okay, I will. Thank you for the book. I leave the classroom and look up at the clock. Quite a chunk of time to kill until Emi's out of practice. Guess I'll give this book a look. I should probably shower as well. Showering before a date's only proper, right? Head back to the dorms. I wonder where I'm supposed to meet Emi anyway. She said after practice, but she didn't say where I should find her. I guess I can just swing by the track. That's probably best anyway. If she needs a shower, I could just wait for her in her room or something. Or in the hallway, I guess. That would be better as well. I'd take a quick shower, remembering to take my medication once I hop out. Now, for a look at this book. I wake with a start. Shit, what time is it? Shit, what time is it? A glance at the clock reveals that I've been asleep for nearly an hour. Thank goodness. Emi's practice should be finishing up soon. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Definitions. I didn't look at the name of the last scene. Shoot. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Somehow I get the feeling we won't be doing anything fancy for dinner. Emi doesn't strike me as a very fancy sort of person. Still, I suppose there's a lot I have yet to know about Emi. Despite our newfound closeness, I still feel like I don't know her as well as I should. Ah well, I have lots of time to fix that. To be honest, I'm looking forward to getting to know her more. I'm so caught up in my own thoughts that I hardly register that I'm already at the track. Emi is nowhere to be found. I don't even see any signs of the track team. This could be embarrassing. I turn to head towards the girls' dormitory when I hear a shout. Hey, Sal. Oh, I like her outfit and the green color. I turn around to see Emi making a beeline for me with a gym bag slung over her shoulder. She's changed into some decidedly more casual clothing, a pair of shorts and an olive green top. I thought olive green was darker. Her running blades have been replaced by more realistic looking legs that probably wouldn't fool anyone. Emi doesn't seem to care about that, a fact which makes me smile. Hey, you came! I mean, I figured you would, but still. I suddenly find myself wrapped in a rather affectionate hug, and it appears to be impossible for me to keep what must be the world's largest grin off my face. Well, of course I came. I'd be crazy not to, right? Emi ponders for a moment. You know, that's true. I mean, I'm pretty amazing after all. I shrug in response. I certainly think so. It's an offhand remark which I'm surprised to see that it seems to have caught Emi by surprise. She blushes and smiles warmly at me before planting a kiss on my lips. Now it's my turn to be surprised. Emi steps back, resting her weight on her back heel, looking pleased with herself. My brain fumbles for an appropriate response. I should compliment you more often. Emi laughs and gives me a playful shove. Jerk. I throw an arm around Emi's shoulders and then please when she immediately leans into me as if it were the most natural thing in the world. So, where to? I'm not actually sure. Where do people go on dates around here anyway? That's a damned good question. I've got no idea.